If you too are interested in avoiding data lock-in, owning all of your intellectual property, being able to justify your human role in working with AI, and also being able to onboard other LLMs that might have a specialty that your current LLM doesn't quickly and easily by sharing relevant transcripts from your last chat session, then this is for you.
I'm sharing what I've learned and built with AI to help you use AI at school and at work with clear systems and workflows just like this one. So make sure you're subscribed.
Your AI chat transcript is literally just the chat session that occurs between you and your LLM of choice, like ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, Claude, Perplexity, etc. If you're going from ChatGPT to another LLM, like Gemini, for example, and you've spent quite some time with ChatGPT, you're going to have to start all over from scratch when you go to Gemini. But if you have your AI chat transcripts from ChatGPT, you can then onboard your new LLM to exactly where you left off. And this is really helpful because that means that all of that hard work that you did isn't going to waste. Before we jump in, check to see what data exports are available in the tool you're using before you get started, because that way you can avoid some unnecessary copying and pasting. If, for example, your LLM does allow you to actually get an export of individual transcript files, that is going to be a huge time saver. So we're going to get started here on my Gumroad page where you will be able to download your free AI transcript toolkit. And all of the templates for the folder structures and things of that nature that might just make it a little bit easier for you to get started. But I really do encourage you to make this personal to you and to your specific needs. I mentioned that I might use this for my business. So there are some folders that I'm going to have to create along the way, since this particular product was designed mostly for the average person in mind. So this is a great place to start, but don't feel boxed into anything. When you download the toolkit, it'll come across as a zip folder. You're just going to go ahead and open that download and hit the extract all button. If you downloaded it and extracted all of the files into a folder called ChatGPT 5 AI transcripts, then it would come out looking like this. You would have the template section here where you have all of the AI transcript folders, and then you have a README, which I strongly recommend you start with right here. Although I haven't gotten as nuanced as going like ChatGPT 5.1 or ChatGPT 5.2, if I am in a different tier, meaning like if I've gone from the free tier to a pro tier to a business tier or an enterprise tier, I do like to separate my transcripts based on that because of the fact that they each have their own data privacy rules. Anything that I put in ChatGPT under that business account, I felt was a little bit more protective. But the caveat there and the kind of reason for all of this in its existence is the fact that I couldn't export my transcripts in one easy ChatGPT data export, which is something that you can do if you are on the free and pro tiers of ChatGPT. You can request data exports through your settings, and this is what it would look like. If you were to just put this into another LLM, it's going to have to sort through so much, and some LLMs aren't actually going to sort through all of the contents. They're just going to grab a little bit from here and there and kind of sample it. So it might not actually have the full detail of all of your projects. It might actually just only have 3 or 4 of the main points from this section. So that's another thing to be mindful of, because you, once again, don't want to be under the impression that it has the whole picture of all of your work, but then it doesn't. Even after getting that export, I'm still making the decision to copy and paste all of my transcripts by hand. Step 1, create a folder. So the folder is ChatGPT 5 AI transcripts. We've got our AI transcript toolkit right here. Here's the README file that goes through those specific steps. Copy and paste the folders inside of this folder so that I can easily find them under my ChatGPT 5 AI transcripts folder. So this is the main folder, and these are all the subfolders. Now, in order to make sure that I keep this kind of separate, but also as something that is replicable and that I do not touch, I might consider renaming this into master or something along those lines so that I know that this is the folder that I don't touch. This means that I can take this folder easily and reuse it in the future. So there are one of 2 ways that I try to keep things organized. I try to utilize the projects feature in ChatGPT. And if you're unfamiliar with what that is, it's essentially a place where you can gather all of your chats that have a similar theme, and then you can ask different questions in that chat. And it's supposed to use that cross-session memory from all of those chats in the projects. So this is basically what we're trying to do and replicate on our own computers. But I do still think that there is some merit to, as you are going through your chats, categorizing them and putting them into these little folders so that when you get to this step, everything's already organized. So it just kind of makes it easier so you're not doing as much clicking around. Another thing that I also like to do at the start of all of this is create a new project, and I just call it Chat Archives. And I am going to put any of the chat transcripts that I have already saved on my computer directly into that project. This just allows me the opportunity to ensure that my workspace isn't very cluttered. I'm going to start with AI Transcript Toolkit, which is actually what you have right in front of you right now. I use ChatGPT to help me come up with a lot of the descriptions and the content and things of that nature for the Gumroad page. So when I do this, I'm going to go all the way up to the top, and you'll notice that I have a prompt here. Now, sometimes my chats have quite robust prompts, other times they don't. I'm going to show you what the template for the prompts look like here on my Google Drive, since I haven't signed in to my Microsoft account on this computer just yet. But you can see here, it's very simple, and I didn't want it to be too complex with drop downs and things of that nature, but you certainly could. What I'm just going to do is I'm going to copy and paste it right in here, and I'm just going to say my purpose for this was marketing, because that's effectively what it was. So in the future, when I look through this, if I'm looking for marketing related prompts that I have really liked in the past, I'm going to be able to have a list of all of those marketing related prompts that I can use again as a springboard. So it's not just going to be something that I'm having to start over from scratch every single time. I'm just going to hit the CTRL-A button here in this, and then CTRL-C, I'm on a PC, to copy all of the contents. Now, if you go down, you can see everything has been highlighted blue. And then I'm going to make sure I copy. And now we're going to go to our ChatGPT 5 AI transcript section. And since this is marketing, I'm going to go to my marketing folder, and I'm going to create a text document.
Jumping in to explain that a lot of LLMs struggle to read files like .docx files and PDFs. So the safest thing to do is save your chat transcripts as .txt files to ensure that all LLMs can read your transcripts.
And I'm going to label the text document the same exact name that I have here in my chat history. This makes it nice and neat. I know exactly what is corresponding to what. If you change it on your side, you should change it in the ChatGPT side as well. I found that it's just easier to retype it myself. And then once you've typed it, then you go in and then you paste. Verify you have the prompt that you had earlier. Okay. And I like to also check that the very bottom is the last sentence of the chat is exactly what I see at the end. I'm going to take this and I'm going to relocate it to the chat archives project that I've created here, because this lets me know I have already dealt with this. I don't need to come back to it this time. And then now you can exit. Okay, so now that I am done with all of my uncategorized chats, I'm going to go back into my actual projects that I have listed here, and I'm going to take all of the chats that I see in that project, and I'm going to categorize them into individual TXT files that, again, I can reference later. But mostly, this is the replicable system that you're going through. So I hope that this was helpful to you, and if it was, I hope that you will consider rating my AI transcript toolkit over on Gumroad. That would be really helpful. I'll be sitting here slowly copying and pasting over all of my ChatGPT transcripts. That might be useful and valuable to me as I move forward with my many business ventures, all centered around human-centered artificial intelligence, where humans are constantly in the loop and using AI to make their lives at school and work better. Share this video with somebody who you think might find it useful. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if something here was eye-opening for you.
And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future tips for practical, real-world AI workflows just like this one.
That's it for me. Take care.